people, now welcome to this channel where we give now Bunge updates on waiting they happen for Biafran territory. When we talk about the bilateral relationship with other country, where the Biafran Republic government in exile they achieve, nothing seen as small thing. I will make now hear the full update, the advantage of this bilateral relationship.
What we are asking for is beyond Netherlands. What we are asking for is beyond writing letters. What we are asking for is bilateral relationship, that's what we are looking for. And if it is being done in that regard, kudos, because that's what we want. We don't want a situation where people will be ordering people to be killed in the southeast. We want to build relationship, we want to build bilateral, we want to start signing treaties, we want to know our boundaries, our territorial integrity, our territorial boundaries, we want to start negotiating with the world, we want to start entering into agreement with nations or with the international community, peacefully in preparation of what is to come. That is a good development for me, because no man is an island. Biafra need a lot of allies, to build the nation very well to the expectation of the world. The world is already waiting in the waiting now, because any moment from now, anything can happen. We are always praying. We are always praying. All the various groups that are involved in Biafran freedom, in Biafran restoration. That's what we are talking about. That we are declaring Biafra. We are trying to do all it can to restore a nation that has existed in this country, for over 4 years, before a constitutional ceasefire was signed in that regard. So what we are asking for is restoration, and we are making all efforts to see that a lot of leadership around the world, president of different countries, ex-president of different nations of the world, to come to Biafran aid, to support Biafran restoration, and any arrangement or engagement or treaty that we need to sign, to help one of the biggest emerging black kingdom on earth, coming to reality, is a welcome development. And back to what we are talking about. In fact, we are going to spread what we call, extend our hand of fellowship for Biafran support, for Biafran restoration, and of course, for foreign investors to start warming up, nations of the world to start warming up, to understand there's need for us to have a nation of our own called Biafra, where the whole blacks all over the world will look up to in terms of good governance, in terms of justice, in terms of fair play, in terms of a nation or a kingdom, that the blacks all over the world, irrespective of where you come from, will be proud of and said yes, the black race, the African continent, the Africa has been able to set up a modern nation, a modern kingdom, a modern country that the blacks all over the world can be proud of. That is what we are looking at, and that is what we believe.
But some will say that I think Shell is owned by the Netherlands country, and they have business here in Nigeria. Do you think they want to disrupt, their relationship with Nigerian government, as regards this Biafra, liberation? Do you think they want to work with the Biafra government, since they work with Nigerian government, since they have businesses here in Nigeria?
It's a matter of interest. If you have the better interest, they will switch over. They will switch interest. That does it. And remember that, I don't know which of the part of the region that want to bear the name Biafra, Nigeria again. That will be very difficult, So if Biafra pull out, at the end of the day, the name Nigeria might refuse to exist, might not come into existence again. It has happened in so many countries, So any tribe, any region that want to bear the name Biafra, Nigeria, that is their business, But as it stands now, Biafra will map out their own modalities of operation and governance. And if any country of the world feel that they want to enter into bilateral with Biafra as a nation, that the whole blacks all over the world will be proud, that can be proud of. Then our doors and our windows and even our kitchen is open for such bilateral relationship with any country so far. That is the stand. So it does not matter whether they have a relationship with Nigeria. That does not mean they cannot have any relationship with another country. That's the fact. So basically now, all those agitators, all those people who are networking in the global level on the restoration of Biafra as a nation, of course, we are going to take our understanding and our advancement, to so many countries around the world, especially America, Canada, name them, and I believe, if anybody is doing anything in that regard, as we speculated in this interview by Simon Eber, it is a welcome development. What I am against is that there should not be disunity. There should not be principles that can, or ideology or theory, that will weaken the agitation and restoration of Biafra. That's my take on that.
Okay, thank you very much.
I must use this opportunity, to correct certain impression, talking about a lot of people who came against my last interview on this platform, talking about the first kingdom on earth, where I mentioned Biafra as the first kingdom on earth. Let me just use this opportunity to explain some certain things. Apart from the divinity that is associated with the people of Igbo Biafra. When I mean Igbo Biafra, we have Ishekiri Biafra, we have Urobo Biafra, we have Ijo Biafra, we have Kogi, we have Benue. You understand? We have so many of them like that, and that is what makes a nation. That is what makes a city. For instance, when you talk about Igodo, you're talking about the Bini people, you see that word Bini, that does not mean that Bini is entirely the empire. There are other cities and states that make up the Bini Empire. That is what I'm trying to pinpoint. That if you look at the desert of Seth, Adam and Eve, for instance, even though it was not recorded in the Bible, has up to 30 kids. Then inside those 30 kids, we have about 5 of them who were prominent, and inside that 5, the Bible was able to record 3. We're talking about Cain, Abel, and of course Seth. And Seth happens to be the one who we are believed to have had a kingdom, that has a direct link with the black nation, the black race. What I'm saying that the black community or the black group or the black race was found in Seth's kingdom, as it were then. If you look at the desert of Seth, people can go back to 14th, 13th or 15th century, before we start seeing some of this name, disappearing because of colonialism or colonization. You can discover that, there was a name called Biafra. It's there. We don't need anybody to tell. I'm not the one that put it there. That people are saying that maybe I do not understand what I'm trying to say in regards to that Biafra was the first kingdom on earth. Yes, go there and find out yourself. It's not a matter of it's not a matter of whether because they don't do research. But unfortunately, I still stand my ground that the first kingdom that was established, the houses, see, when you talk, it's just like Nigeria. You have Lagos, we have Benin, Edo State, we have Kaduna. All these states and cities are under Nigeria, if you can get me right. And that was how it was like, when you talk about the desert of Seth, S-E-T-H, the desert of Seth. You can look at Seth also have a kind of children too. You understand? So if you look at that desert of Seth, you find a place where Biafra was being written or talked about, as the kingdom of Seth, as being referred as at that time. And inside that, they have so many cities and states, that surround the environments of Biafra. So let nobody see it as if when I make that reference, I'm not far from the truth. You know, it was not Ojukwu that named Biafra. It was not Paul Opik of Ejo that named Biafra. It was not even the Portuguese, you know, talking about the Ethiopian miners, you know, where we still have them till today. They are still called Biafrans. Somewhere between Gulf of Guinea and Ethiopia. There's a place they call Ethiopian miners. Those people are still named Biafra till today, you know. So those people that named those Aziz, even before Nigeria came into existence, about 700 years before, centuries before Nigeria, you discover that, you know, the Portuguese picked that name from somewhere. It did not come from them. It was a name that has existed before the Portuguese picked it. And so it's a very clear thing, you know, for those who are questioning how I came about the issue of Biafra as the first kingdom on earth. When you look at it, you know what I'm talking about. You know, as long as that name was mentioned and it disappeared as a result of invasion, colonization, and thank God people were able to connect to it, and of course, you know, you have the bite of Biafra before they said it is bite of Benin. So the name Biafra, that's what I'm talking about, has been in existence centuries.